weather forecast today?
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just the perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking day.
Welcome back to Contracts and Cocktails. I'm Kelly Bowling.
I'm Carolyn Smith.
Doing my anchor voice over here.
You are. You're getting good at that.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying. Well, today we're going to talk about one thing that should be on your bucket list, and that is planning for when you're going to kick the bucket. Estate planning. So
That was good.
my husband and I recently finally bit the bullet, and we've done like the online like LegalZoom versions of it before, but I'm like, we need to go talk to a real attorney in our area that does this and find out what do we actually need, because things that you might hear, oh, well, my dad put everything in a trust, or my mom just put us on her deed to her house, and that's how we're going to get around the probate thing with the house. And that's not always recommended. And, you can talk to your attorney and find out what they recommend. So that's what we did. And I was really surprised, first of all, that, I thought we were going to be in this for like thousands of dollars. And it honestly was like $600. So
Yes, it's
for both
very
of us.
reasonable.
And we did everything. We did like the wills. We did like the power of attorneys. We did the living wills. We did all the things, right? So we're covered. Our bases are covered. We know, like, if something happens to both of us, then I'm sorry, Carissa, that's my oldest. You're in charge of the kids.
Yes. Well, and living wills are important. Like, what's going to happen to you if you're incapacitated? What are your wishes?
Right.
If you can't speak for yourself.
One thing to tell your family, but if you have it on paper, then it's something that you can give to the hospital, the doctor, so they can understand too what's going on. So it's really important. And I feel like if you own a home or you own any assets, you have money in the bank, you
have children.
Well, yeah, that too.
If you have children, you really need to be able to designate who is going to be, like in your case, Carissa, who is going to be responsible for my minor children.
Right.
And any assets that I have, who is going to be,
in charge of that. Right. Yes. And how are we splitting things? Like between my husband and I, we have 6 total kids. And so we don't want there to be any fighting or any arguing. And, we talk about this a lot because, like, when my mom passed away, my dad was still there. He went and took care of all the things, like did everything with an attorney that I knew from the area up there and handled everything, got it done. So I'm so grateful for that. So then we've been trying to get my husband's parents to time. We haven't done this. You need to do it because, in some families, people don't always agree on everything. And I feel like that just is...
Those families, honestly.
If there's more than one child, there's going to be some disagreement about something at some point, I feel like. So rather than letting your kids duke it out after you're gone, let's figure it out now and lay out your wishes, let everybody know what's going to happen. And that way there's nobody coming back after the fact. So I feel like it's really important. And having a probate kind of situation is not always ideal. It can tie things up for months. I have a current client right now who they can't even list her mom's house because it is currently in probate. She died unexpectedly. She did not have a will. Everything in this house is untouched, down to like the dirty clothes that were left, in the hamper. They haven't been able to do anything. They don't live here. It's just tied up in the courts. She had, bills and things like that, creditors that she owed money to. So they have to establish what's exempt. Is there really homestead, which, that's easy to verify, but it still has to go through the process. So I think she passed away in March or April. The probate was opened in May. Still not done.
And somebody has to take care of the electric,
taxes,
the lawn has to, if there's a pool, the taxes, the house has to be maintained.
Right.
Somebody's got to pay for that. And the estate can't pay for it because nobody's in charge of the estate yet officially, right? Or however. Yeah.
And then, so they're just kind of waiting it out. And they are paying for all those things. So it's not ideal. If your family is in a position to be able to financially afford that, then that's one thing. But not everybody is, So especially if they can't get a hold of the assets that you've got there to be able to help them afford that, they can't touch it.
So. And then there's the whole thing of the disagreements of which child is going to get what. This sounds really morbid, but when I was very young, I remember my grandmother taking out all her jewelry and being like, okay, here's this, who's going to get this, and literally taking a picture of it, and she wrote on the back of it. And that was part of her estate, who got what. And it's not just jewelry; it's anything that
it could be antique furniture or clothing, whatever. And my mom used to joke that she would just put Post-its on everything so that we would know who was getting what or whatever. But, and then a lot of times, you know, you already have your home. It's full of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like, where's all that stuff going to go? Well, you want to get rid of it, whether it's to give it to another family member or to sell it or donate it or what have you. But if you can't touch it, you're not allowed to go in there and remove any of the property. It's just sitting there, you know. So
it's a mess.
It'll get resolved. It's just going to take some time, and I'm sure they'll be very relieved when that happens. I had another case a few years ago where there was a woman, and she was, you know, living with her then partner. They weren't married, and they decided she was going to sell her home here and move up to Michigan where her family was living.
Yeah. And
so we found a buyer for the house, and we get under contract, and we send it on over to the title company, and they were like, there is a problem because it was deeded to her and her ex-husband, who also had died.
Oh,
and
goodness.
They divorced before, you know, he passed, obviously.
Yes.
And in the divorce decree, it was ordered that she was to get the house. Well, he never quitclaimed it to her before he died. So I was told, you need to talk to a probate attorney, and I was given the name of a probate attorney. So she called the lady, and the lady's like, oh, yeah, it's going to have to go through probate, and it's going to cost like $6,000, and it's going to take this long. And I was like, this can't be happening. Like, we have a buyer who's ready. She's trying to go. Like, she needs the money. And so I called another probate attorney that I had worked with previously. And he was like, well, actually, you just need a title company who understands the law. And he went and researched. He did all of this free for us.
Oh, that was
He
nice.
researched, found me the divorce decree, found me the law, like the statute or whatever that made it so that she didn't have to go through probate. Saved her like 6 months, maybe more.
And $6,000.
And $6,000. She sold her house. We closed on time. So when you are working with a probate attorney, you want to make sure that they know the law.
Yeah. And they're good. Yeah.
That's important. So get recommendations from friends or what have you or stuff like that. It's really important, you know.
Definitely. I mean, really, honestly, as soon as you're an adult and you have some sort of assets, you should have some type of estate plan.
You have a bank
and
account. And there's not a negative balance on it. You need to... Somebody, you know, where's that money going to go? You know, if you don't have somebody else on the account, you know.
Yeah. So it's good. It's a good idea. Wrap all those things up. And, you know, so sort of going along with that, we've been talking about downsizing when you're a senior. And it's interesting because I think, you know, we own our homes. We're very attached to our homes. It's very personal. And when you think about downsizing as a senior, and we're not talking about like downsizing to a smaller home. We're talking about going maybe into sort of independent living maybe, or depending on your situation, assisted living. And it's very difficult mentally and emotionally for a senior to think about giving up. Definitely. It's an independence. It's such a big life change. And most seniors, I mean, I haven't run into one yet. I went through this with my own mother, you know, where the house just was too much for her. And independent living is amazing. She has like a 2-bedroom apartment with a full kitchen and all this, but they also have, you know, a restaurant there, and they have the hair salon there. And my mother has some trouble with her eyes, so they have the transportation. They can take her to her doctor's appointments and things like that. And so, but and I've had seniors that I've worked with selling their home, and they've stayed too long. And generally what happens is, and, I took the senior real estate specialist designation and exam, and they tell you this, that seniors stay too long. They wait. They don't want to leave their house. They don't want to give up their things. They don't want to lose that independence. Right. And they wait so long that then it's a crisis situation. Then they're
have not been maintained like they're supposed to because they're not able to.
And they're not able to pack up or go through their things and figure out what goes, what stays, what do I donate, the same things you're talking about when there's a death. But they're still alive, and the kids don't live locally.
Right. Or they're out of the area, and they can't really assist with stuff like that.
So there's no one to help, and this person's living in a 2-story home where they haven't walked upstairs in 10 years because they can't do the stairs anymore. They have health issues, and they're trying to make what?
That's going to be me.
No,
I won't be able to leave my house.
Kelly, she's just down at the garage level.
Yeah, but I live in the garage now. We're on piling, so we don't have any living space on the ground floor.
That's so funny.
We always said we have to get one of those little lifts that takes you up the stairs. Yeah.
See, I'm in a 1-story. I don't have to worry about that.
Lucky you.
But it is, I mean, it is true. So, I mean, if you have a senior parent or if you are a senior, start thinking about that. And there are services that are amazing that will help you go through, like organize, figure out what am I taking with me? What can I donate? What can I now give away? Like something that you would normally give away in your will to children. Maybe you want to give it away now.
Right.
Maybe it's time. And I think it's a very, very hard thing. I can see in my future, like not wanting to just give it. Well, actually, in my future, I can see like, yay, I don't have to care a lawn and a pool.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's going to cook for me. I just go downstairs and there's a restaurant. That kind of would work for me. I don't know
it sounds
that I
good
would
now, but I feel like, when it's a like push come to shove situation, it's not always something that they want.
Yeah,
sure.
It's very, very difficult. So, I mean, I would say it's, it's a difficult conversation to have with your parents or your elderly relatives, but go ahead and have it. Start having it and push, because you don't want to be in the situation where they're in a crisis and you're trying to figure out what to do with a home and you're dealing with a medical issue at the same time. They may not have passed away, but they're dealing with some major medical crisis and you're trying to figure out what to do.
And then some families, move their, parents in with them.
Yes.
And that gives you what a blessing to have that extra time in a lot of cases. And I know, as an adult, living with your parents is maybe not an ideal situation because, differences of opinion and things like that can happen. And I always said, I loved it when my mom would come to visit, but I couldn't imagine, living in the house with her again.
Yeah.
But to have that extra time to get that back now would be great.
Yeah, it is. And if you have the space, if you have the room, in your situation where you have 3 kids and 2 bedrooms, and
that wouldn't work for me. We'd have to we'd have to build a granny pod in the backyard or something.
The granny shed.
Yeah,
it's like a she shed for the granny.
Yeah.
But it's it's a cool. Actually, that's a really good idea. Maybe we should start a business.
Well, there's these houses I found on TikTok, and I can't remember the name of them, but they come and they assemble them in a day. They're made off site.
It's like a modular.
It's kind of like a modular, but it's not a modular because it's literally it's assembled and fully furnished.
Really?
It's like a little apartment. So it was a bedroom, a little kitchen, a bathroom. That's it. And they bring it to your site. They drop it. It unfolds. The whole thing unfolds and it comes fully furnished.
Really?
With the bed and everything. And all the appliances are in there, yes. And you just connect it to your plumbing and your electrical outside. And then little AC hooks up. And they don't have their prices on their website because they keep going up. I think they started out at $50,000 for these. But then you had the site prep too, which could be also $50,000.
Right.
So. And also, I don't know if our county allows stuff like that.
Well, you have to be able to have a detached structure, which you would need to have your municipality approve that. And they would also have to be because we're in a hurricane area.
Well, they are. They're hurricane proof.
Oh, they are?
Yep. So they're based in Nevada.
Wow.
But when I was looking at their website, they are built for hurricane force winds. Yep.
Wow.
So I thought that was really interesting because I thought the same thing. And I'm like, these probably will just blow over. Those cardboard playhouses you can buy your kids that they color on? Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like they would
Don't put Granny in that.
No.
Granny won't like that.
We joked that we could just spray foam the plastic Rubbermaid shed that we bought.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe move one of our kids into there, but I don't think that's going to fly.
I don't know if they'd like that.
They would not like that.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Not a good idea for sure.
So, we won't be doing that.
Well, we're coming up on the Christmas season.
We are.
So
Yay.
we
put my tree up next weekend or this weekend.
We're going to do ours, I think, after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The weekend after. Yeah. It's typically when we will do ours.
I'm doing mine early this year. I just felt like I feel very Christmassy this year.
My daughter, she did hers the first weekend in November.
Oh, see?
Yeah, she's ready. And it probably won't come down until mid-January.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. She loves it. And she's got a 500 square foot apartment. So it's not like she has an excess of space, but she loves it.
Yeah. It's so great to walk in and see it and just,
the bright
lights. And I love it.
Yeah. We're going to have to find a new home for our tree this year.
Because Tommy's recliner is
in the way. He's like, we'll just get rid of the dog crate. I'm like, I guess we could do that.
Oh, really? Where are you going to put your tree?
Just, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Just put it right in front of the front door. Oh, hello.
You should get one of those. You could get a really tall tree.
We could, but we just have, I think, a normal, 6.5 or 7 foot one, just because, I usually have to lug it up from downstairs and then set it up, and it's heavy. I don't want to do all that. And then I also have to reach everything, the kids will help, and then all the ornaments are hung at whatever height they currently are. lucky for us, like the 12-year-old.
It's like your own growth chart.
It is. It is.
Where are the ornaments?
Right?
Yeah, that's how tall they were that year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about some of our favorite things, and nothing major, big. Like Oprah does some crazy stuff. Like, oh, it's on her list. What is it? Oh, it's $3,000. Okay, well, that's not getting on my Christmas
cool
list.
Stuff. I've seen some things advertised now that are like, oh, this was Oprah's favorite backpack. I'm like, Oprah likes a backpack, but apparently, foldable backpack.
Did you know that she likes the Spanx swimsuit, or not swimsuit? It's a sweatsuit.
Really?
Yeah, so
they
it's
make
like
a
lounge
sweatsuit?
wear. Apparently, that's, I guess, I don't know. Does it hold you
When
good?
I'm at home, I really don't care. I'm just going to say.
No, I'm not.
And actually, when I'm out, I don't care either.
There's that.
I don't own Spanx.
I do not either.
It is what it is, people.
Yeah. So I think I'll talk about my favorite thing first. And so we have these great Yeti cups for our team.
Yay.
But my kids, you know how when you have your kids at school or daycare, they have to have a cup that's labeled, and you're constantly either marking on it or putting a sticker label on it or something, or you have to remember, oh crap, I forgot to do that as you're running out the door. So we bought our kids Yeti jugs, and they're older now, so they don't have they have the smaller ones for younger kids.
Yeah.
But they have the big, we get them the 36-ounce ones and have their names engraved on them. So it has their name on the front and back. And that's what they use. So we have maybe 3 or 4 for each of them that are interchangeable. That way they go in the dishwasher. You don't have to hand wash them. So we always have a clean
deal.
set. It is it's a big deal, especially when one of them constantly leaves her stuff at school. She'll get in the car from aftercare, and I'm like, where's your cup? And she's like, oh, I left it in my classroom. I'm like, it's a good thing we got 3 more at home.
Yeah.
You have water tomorrow. But also because, they tell me that the water at school and the water fountain is gross. So then they can
I'm just going to say they're right.
They're not wrong. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But that way they have plenty of water for the day. Yeah. Usually, I don't know, my 12-year-old, he's about to have to carry a half-gallon jug or something because he drinks a lot of water.
That big thing they had at Costco, that
monster. The one that, So that's my favorite thing because it's made our life so much easier. We don't have the single-use plastic bottles rolling around the house. We have a cabinet that just has all Yetis in it.
Me too.
Because that's what I drink my coffee in. I drink my water in it. I don't really drink anything besides that, but
yeah. We're Yeti fans.
Yeah, we love them.
My daughter likes I don't remember what brand it is. I want to say Simple Human. That's not right. Healthy Human. Because it has a little flip top.
Yeah.
So she likes that one. But those cannot be washed in the dishwasher.
Yeah, that's
I just want to say, yeah. So we're Yeti fans, and we like that they can engrave them.
Yes.
Yeah, so we love that. So, and because I'm drinking one today, we'll just talk about my favorite thing, which is my energy drink, my Bang, which they just lost some huge lawsuit to Monster, $300 million, and declared bankruptcy. So who knows if they'll be around. But, I used to drink a lot of coffee, and in my coffee, I would drink a lot of cream. And I was saying, no, I'm not going to drink all that cream. I'm going to reduce, I'm going to be healthy. And then next thing you know, I'm pouring in all the cream. So I still love coffee. But what I love about this is it's bubbly. So I don't drink soda, but it gives me, it's like soda water kind of, because it gives you the bubbles, and they have all the different flavors. My favorite is Sour Heads, which I didn't bring today, but that's my absolute favorite. But this Purple Haze is good too. And just, I just like a little energy burst. I don't know, you're not supposed to drink a lot of caffeine. I think this is equivalent to 2.5 cups of coffee, and I just drink it all day, and yeah, I love it.
Purple Haze sounds like a strain of something else. It's not an energy drink. I just have to say that.
It reminds me of the Prince Purple Rain.
Oh, yeah.
It could be that. Yeah, they have some interesting names, but I think that if they go away, I've tried all the other ones, and I don't like any of the other ones.
I don't like any of them. I haven't tried a Bang, but I haven't.
There's a few in the fridge at work.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know that I could do it. I'm not really a sweet drink kind of person.
It's not super sweet. Some of them are not sweet at all. So, and some of them you drink them and you're like, who came up with this flavor and why? And why did they put it in a can? But I do love them, and they're 0 calories and all that fun stuff. So yeah. So we'll talk about our favorite things. I have other favorite. Jen's talk about the fact that you love good paper, because I buy the most expensive paper for the copier, the super thick stuff, and I'm like, I have this weird thing with paper.
Notes on it right now. It's like silk in my hands.
Yeah, I like really good stationery and paper and stuff like that, but that's not exciting. So
but we'll talk about it every week for the next 4 weeks or so.
And if you have favorite things that you want us to to include or know about, our favorite restaurant or spa. We like to know about the good spas. So make sure you tell us. And so don't hesitate to reach out. I think we forgot to say this the last episode, but give us a call, 321-422-2160.
Yep.
And or hello@coastalestateteam.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to help you buy or sell a house or answer any real estate questions that you have.
And don't forget, follow us on TikTok.
Yes.
YouTube.
Instagram. Facebook. Yeah. Give us a follow. We would love to see your comments. Only nice ones. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no trolls.
No trolls. No trolls allowed. We should do like a little caricature of a troll with a little
Yeah.
That's going to be our new thing. All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just the perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast.